New Zealand sh00tings's social media wake-up call. YouTube, others, must stop amplifying violence. Editors note the opinions in this article are the authors, as published by our content partner, and do not necessarily represent the views of MSN or Microsoft. The mass murder at 2 Friday, which claimed the lives of at least 49 people, was doubly shocking. First, it was an unspeakable desecration of houses of worship and tragic loss of life designed to horrify the faithful worldwide. And second, what responsibility do these and their users, all of us, have for such attacks? People commenting on the cable news channels were quick with their hot takes. Some on CNN. Notable and tragic examples include the shooting deaths of 9 African Americans at a church in Charleston, South Carolina in 2015, and the Oak Creek, Wisconsin massacre that claimed the lives of 6 Sikh worshippers and injured 4 in 2012. President Obama wasn't to blame for the Charleston or Oak Creek murders any more than President Trump or any other world leader is for the New Zealand mass shooting. But we have seen a disturbing trend in recent school, church, and other mass murders. The rise of social. The New Zealand murderer didn't just leverage Facebook's live streaming technology. He also seeded. The killer knew that with a few clicks, he could set in motion an orchestra to amplify his misdeeds, with corrosive aftershocks for weeks and months to come. And in that goal, he unfortunately succeeded. Mainstream media figures recklessly took the bait and ran, breathlessly, to the airwaves to spread the killer's divisive message. It was mere hours, but only the killer is responsible for his crimes. But our cultural of, not every mass murderer is choosing to commit his crimes with premeditated video live streaming. For example, but some killers are turning to social media to boast about their terrible crimes. As a technology, even though Facebook took down the New Zealand killer's account and videos after being informed by users of the situation, it took nearly 20 minutes to do so. And even afterward, it's puzzling that Facebook, Twitter and Google's YouTube appear impotent to stop the spread of viral images of crimes being committed before our eyes, though in recent years they have become more active in trying to shut down self-harm and suicide videos. In contrast, these social media companies have now finally honed the art of censoring entirely legal speech when uttered by conservative writers and organizations. Google has designed very sophisticated video processing software to implement its censorship goals and to halt intellectual property theft. Yet, it can't, and YouTube was not alone. Facebook, YouTube's instant video processing is what makes its videos so easy to search and find on dominant search engines. As a result, some are calling for more social media censorship in the wake of this attack. But prior restraint. There can be no dispute, though, that the type of crime we saw live streamed on Facebook is not protected speech. The social media. At the same time, members of the public must do their part by refusing to click on, share, or even describe the horrifying images. Taking away a voyeuristic audience for such crimes will never put an end to the evil that causes some individuals to take others' lives. But taking away
raindrop, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Cracking, fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park,